So in this video we're going to be talking about the recent Lear 45 XR crash in India that just happened the other day. It was flying into Mumbai airport. So I'll give you some insight onto that. But before we get into the accident of the Lear 45, check out my book, The Quantum Economy. Lots of information on here about private jets, the economy of the future. 170-page read, quick read, designed for busy people like yourself. So click on the link below to get yourself a copy. And lots of stories in here of people that are using the private jet to build their business. Talks to you about the markets of the future and why you need to get into them. You need to get in fast. And the interesting thing in here, I talk about, the fact that 90% of aircraft accidents happen in third world countries. And guess where most of the economic growth is going to happen in the next 10 to 20 years? It's in third world countries. So you want to get in there before the competition. And the very safest way to get in there and the quickest way to get in there is by private jet. So find out how you can do that. There's lots of information in here, so click on the link below and subscribe to BizJet TV as well. And down below you'll also see the link to my newsletter, which is coming out every week now. So click on the link and manage to subscribe to that one, because there's some inside information on the newsletter as well. So let's get into this accident that happened in Mumbai airport. So the news said that the airplane went off the end of the runway. They're blaming the weather. And they're not really doing a proper technical analysis of what actually happened. Now, of course, it's early days. The Accident Investigation Board will be piecing the parts of the aircraft together. All 8 people survived, or at least so far. 6 passengers and 2 pilots. Now, the weather, they're saying the weather was bad. I mean, I've flown into Mumbai as a pilot many times. Okay, I flew in on a bigger aircraft, Fly 737s, into Mumbai airport. Now the wind was 1508 knots. They're coming into runway 27, so there's a bit of a crosswind, but 8 knot crosswind is almost nothing. The visibility was quite low, about 800 meters. There was rain, scattered clouds, 1,000 feet and 1,800 feet. There were towering cumulus clouds, so I should imagine there's a bit of turbulence going on as well. But as you can see, as the airplane's coming in, it tends to veer and then dive and crash. And quite frankly, I am surprised that the 8 people walked away and nobody died. It's very, very surprising. Now, you see the airplane bank like that and then dive. To me, it looks like the airplane ended up going into a stall, and obviously one wing stalled before the other, as very often does happen in an inadvertent stall, and the plane just didn't have enough altitude for the pilots to recuperate. Now, obviously, as the plane was coming down, this was a very, very unstabilized approach, and the pilot should have executed a go-around way before. That's what I would have done. That's what any well-trained pilot would have done. I don't know what kind of training these guys had. I don't know what experience they had. But looking at the safety record of aviation in India, which is not very good, to be honest. So they really need to do something about the way they do pilot training. And it's not just training. I think it's also a cultural problem, where people have to sort of understand safety. And when I say understand safety, you need to have certain guidelines and SOPs and what's called standard operating procedures in order to be able to fly an airplane in a certain way. And one of the things is understanding what an unstabilized approach is, and executing a go around when you get to that. In this case it would have been 1,000 feet. If by 1,000 feet the airplane isn't completely configured for landing and is not stable, so it's not descending too much, the speed is stable and everything and that, and if you get to that point and you're not stable, you're too fast, you're too high, or whatever it may be, then you just go around, and there's nothing bad about doing a go around. The problem is some pilots think that a go around means you're a failure. Some passengers push the pilots to land even if the weather's bad, and they'll fire the pilot if he does a go around. These are all elements that are thrown into aviation, in particular business aviation. I mean, in the airlines it's different because every airline has a standard operating procedure, and as the pilot, it's your job to fly the plane and to take the passengers from A to B safely. And if you do a go around, you just file a report and that's it. You had a good reason to, and if you did come in high or fast, and you made the mistake and you admit to the mistake, that's fine. The airline's fine with that, or at least most airlines. But with the private jet world, very often the pilots have a bit of an ego. The passengers push the pilots to do stuff they shouldn't be doing. And this is exactly what ends up happening. Now, I've had various people that I know that have died in accidents because they really shouldn't have been doing what they did. And I did talk about this in a few of my videos, few videos ago, about my friend Eric Swaffer, who was flying the helicopter that crashed out of the Leicester football stadium a few years ago. He did everything he could. Even the accident report said he did a cracking job. But he did tell me a few days before the crash, he said, I did tell my boss that taking off out of the stadium in the helicopter was not a safe thing to do. If something went wrong, we were basically screwed. So I'd suggest, we'd land and take off outside the stadium. And the boss just turned around and said, well, the other pilots used to do it. I'm sure I can find another pilot that would do it. If you're not happy with it, you can leave. And he just continued, and now he's no longer living. And neither is his boss, because they both died in the crash. So I've seen this happen a number of times. Now, in the case of this Learjet crash, they were very, very lucky that the 8 people managed to get away alive. They're in hospital. Some of them are still in hospital, but they are not in serious condition. So it's very, very lucky. But I think this was certainly pilot error. I would not blame the weather. Someone said to me, the airplane broke in two. There's something wrong with the plane. Very often it's the human factor that causes the accident. So did the passengers push the pilots? Well, even if they did, the pilot should have turned around and said, I'm sorry, we're not doing that. That's not safe. And that's really, really important. And that's what I've been trying to drive across here on BizJet TV. The safety record of private aviation is 10 times worse than the airlines because of these types of situations. It's a mindset problem here and a training problem. And this needs to be addressed. And so I'm not going to stop here telling these stories and telling people, when you buy that private jet and you hire your pilot, as I said in one of my videos recently, your pilot has to be paid to say, no, boss. And that's really important if you want to be safe. And it's really, really important to understand that. So anyway, I'd love to hear what your take is. Let's get the conversation going in the comments section below here. Also, subscribe to BizJet TV if you haven't done so already, and give us a thumbs up. And check out Quantum Economy. Click on the link below. Get yourself a copy of my book, The Quantum Economy. Below, you'll also find the link to Biz Aviation World, which is my newsletter, all about private aviation, and also the link to my articles in Avbuyer magazine. So, hope you enjoyed this video. Check out this recent video I did, interview with Chris Crone, a businessman, and how he uses his private jet, which is an interesting one. And I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you on the next one.